Good morning and welcome to News Breakfast. It's Wednesday. It's great to have your company. I'm Michael Rowland.
And I'm Virginia Trioli. Glad you could join us today. Making news this morning, the federal government urges the Fair Work Commission to review penalty rates.
Food poisoning blamed for the deaths of an Australian mother and daughter in Bali.
The federal court to rule on whether the ANZ must repay bank fees.
Leading sport this morning, the Hurricanes go into the Big Bash final by upsetting the tournament favourite Stars.
And after a brief cooling, heat returns to the south and monsoonal rains continue in the north.
Let's go to other news now. And authorities have ruled out foul play in the deaths of an Australian mother and daughter in Bali. Their family says autopsy results have revealed it's likely the pair died from a rare type of food poisoning. 54-year-old Nolene Bischoff and her 14-year-old daughter Ivana died suddenly after eating fish at a Bali restaurant. Both suffered from mild asthma, which may have contributed to their deaths.
Police are investigating the death of a 15-month-old girl in Sydney overnight. Officers were called to a house in Quakers Hill in the city's northwest after the parents found the child unconscious in her cot. The toddler was taken to hospital in a critical condition but later died. Police say initial investigations suggest the girl became entangled in a blind cord.
More than 43,000 ANZ customers will learn this morning whether they'll be paid back some of their bank fees. Law firm Morris Blackburn has been running a class action on behalf of the ANZ customers, arguing the fees the bank charged them over a 6-year period were unfair. It's part of a larger class action against 8 banks. The federal court will hand down its ruling later this morning.
Preliminary efforts to broker peace between the Taliban and Pakistan's government have got off to a chaotic start. The Pakistani Taliban is furious after government representatives failed to turn up for the talks. The two sides had been due to start charting a roadmap to peace talks. The government's lead negotiator says he still expects talks to go ahead, but he wants more information on the makeup of the Taliban team.
And Foreign Minister Julie Bishop insists the ABC should apologise to the Navy over its reporting of allegations of abuse by asylum seekers. The ABC's Managing Director Mark Scott and Director of News Kate Tawney have issued a statement saying the wording in the ABC's initial reporting needed to be more precise. The statement says the ABC makes no apologies for covering the story, but they regret if the reports led to anyone mistakenly assuming the broadcaster supported the claims. Ms Bishop says the matter has been unfortunate.
Now look at finance for you. The Dow is up around 0.5% around about now. London's FTSE down slightly. The Australian dollar is buying 89 US cents. Tapper's crude is trading at 113 US dollars a barrel. Gold is trading at 1,250. Take a look now at the front pages of the Wednesday newspapers. We'll start with the Australian today, and the paper has more on the government's push for sweeping changes to the nation's award system. That's our top story today. And the paper saying that employer groups will use the Fair Work Commission's review to campaign for cuts to penalty rates.
Liberal MP Sharman Stone's argument with the government over SPC is in the Age. She's accused the Prime Minister of blackening the character of the company's workers.
Joe Hockey talks to the Financial Review about the Commission of Audit that's underway. The Treasurer says he's likely to adopt the great majority of recommendations as he searches for big budget savings.
The Daily Telegraph says Sydney's second airport is finally set to get the go-ahead. According to the paper, Cabinet will sign off on that project next week.
I feel like I've read that headline how many times over the last 10 years?
Decades. 20 years, 30 years. So it looks as though it's finally going to happen.
The Courier Mail reports on the pre-trial hearing of accused killer Gerard Baden-Clay. A marriage counsellor has told the hearing that just days before the death of his wife, Baden-Clay blamed her for his disappointments in life.
ACT police have been scouring a rubbish tip for a shoe thought to relate to the murder of a 71-year-old 5 weeks. That story's in the Canberra Times.
The Herald Sun looks at the needle vending machines planned for some parts of inner Melbourne. Residents and traders are concerned that this new project will increase drug use, but health groups say it's an important part of minimising drug-related harm.
The Sydney Morning Herald details the woman Sydney forgot. Natalie Jean Wood lay dead in her apartment for 8 years. No one noticed, but now there's a lot of interest in her real estate.
The South Australian opposition leader Stephen Marshall tells The Advertiser of his sister's battle with cancer. He says it puts everything, including next month's election, into perspective.
The Mercury pays tributes to the Hobart Hurricanes who upset the previously undefeated Melbourne Stars in last night's Big Bash semi-final.
And the Northern Territory news, well, it just does it again. It shows the cheeky welcome given to the GAN on its 10-year anniversary. Just to hold it there for a second, and people, citizens of Australia, I just want you to reflect on this. In what part of the country, what other part of the country would it ever occur to you that when a train was arriving to town, you would drop your dacks and you would moon said train? Only in the Territory.
Oh, it's a big event, the 10th anniversary.
No, I get that. Now make the leap to mooning the train.
Good morning. Well, there's a lot of activity happening up there at the moment. We've got the monsoon trough that's maintaining monsoonal rains right across that tropical region. There's also a couple of lows to mention within that system. A tropical low over the Northern Territory will slowly make its way east near the southwest Gulf of Carpentaria. And we've still got ex-tropical cyclone Fletcher. This is over the Gulf of Carpentaria waters this morning. It's south-southwest and may briefly redevelop into a cyclone today before it crosses the Gulf Coast tonight. It's likely to produce gale force winds between Gilbert, Rivermouth and the border. For Queensland, it means rain and storms in the north. They will ease to showers as we get closer down to Townsville and also Mount Isa. Apart from that, we've got a few more showers along the east coast and about the eastern districts, a top of 30 degrees in Brisbane. A sunny day for Longreach, you're heading for 36. New South Wales, isolated showers around the coast and adjacent tablelands. There is that low pressure trough that's pushing the cooler winds from the central coast up to the north coast, hence why it is rather chilly in Sydney, 23 degrees the top. We might see an afternoon shower or storm in the far west, and it's still hot up there in the northwest, 36 degrees in Bourke. In Victoria, possible morning showers around the Gippsland coast. It is warming up again in the south, 31 degrees the top in hot up in the northwest, 38 degrees in Mildura. In Tasmania, cool again this morning. It's 9 degrees at the moment in Hobart. You're heading for a top of 20. Apart from an early shower in the northwest, it will be a mostly fine day. For South Australia, areas of showers and storms over parts of the pastoral districts, becoming warmer in the south and hotter up in the north as Cooper Pedy heads for 40 and Adelaide's top 34 degrees. To Western Australia, some light showers near the western south coast, otherwise a fine day. Sunny in Perth, 35 degrees, and Carnarvon back up to 41. Showers and storms over the north, severe weather in the Northern Territory. We've got heavy rain that could cause flash flooding again today around the areas of the Darwin Daly, Roper, Macarthur, Victoria River and Barkly districts. Around the nation for tomorrow, and we're expecting a shower or two in Brisbane, 27 degrees, partly cloudy in Sydney, 24, and warming up in Adelaide with a top of 37 degrees.